Hello and welcome. My name is Peter Reynolds. I make no apologies for the inclusion of this particular programme from the Gage Guild Library in our modest offering on YouTube. I have purely selfish reasons for this, as it is my personal favourite. This new introduction has become necessary due to the use of copyright music on the original. In the original introduction, Chris Simpson explained how the video came about. Chris had a discussion with Peter Korrison about filming his railway and making it available for viewing. A video was made by Sandy Harper with Peter's assistance, and this constitutes the main part of the programme. On initial viewing, Peter thought the video could be enhanced as it had been made without any pre-planning on his part. Peter bought a video camera and, after suitable research and using his 30 years experience in the film industry, created more video. Sadly, Peter, who had been experiencing poor health for some time, passed away not long after the additional video footage was completed in December 2011, but prior to it being edited. This additional footage finally came to light in 2013 when John Cox and Peter Belcher completed the re-editing of the programme and sent the result to Chris, and this is what you are about to see. Finally, the video features a closing montage of photographs taken by British Railway Modelling when the layout featured in that magazine.
In 2010, Peter Korrison expressed a wish to film his layout with a view to giving it to the Gage Guild. Sadly, Peter died in 2011 before the project had been completed. However, sufficient footage was taken, and together with still photographs, it has been possible to present an impression of the layout. This DVD is a mix of moving film and still shots, and it has been possible to do because of the permission given by British Railway Modelling to use their photos and the help of many of Peter's friends. The railway was started in 1985 in a purpose-built shed some 23 feet by 16 with an external covered return loop. 2 or 3 operators were required to operate the sequence, which took some 5 to 6 hours to complete. The layout portrays an imaginary portion of the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway between 1900 and 1913. 4 elements are shown on the track plan. The first element is the storage area, which feeds trains in a sequence onto the layout. The storage area could accommodate 14 trains, with 10 more in cassettes stored under the baseboards. Second is the industrial area, built along the river leading to the canal. Thirdly is the harbour terminus, representing the end of a short branch off the main east-west coastline. The station offers a connection with the cross-channel ferry, as well as being a small fishing port. The fourth element is a small country station typical of those laid out in mid-Sussex, generating both passenger, quarry and timber traffic. Trains exit the storage area, run over the crossover to run round the loop and enter either the terminus or run onto the branch and then enter the terminus. The branch also allows for continuous test running. Other trains leave the storage area and enter the riverside industrial area. At the start of the operating session, The Spider Special is run to clear creepy crawlies from the covered loop, tunnels and under the bridges. The K-class Mogul backs a train from storage onto the sector plate and then exits over the crossover to the main line. The landward end of the harbour shows the inshore fishing fleet, which are modelled on Sussex prototypes. A push-pull train leaves on a southbound service, and then a northbound service leaves the quarry tunnel to enter the branch station. The depth of the harbour enables the cross-channel ferry Paris on the Dieppe run until 1913 to moor alongside the pontoon. The Director's Inspection train arrives at Fettleworth, hauled by a Stroudley G-class single. The coach is scratch-built by Peter. A small portion of the Manchester through working arrives behind a B2X. It stables the stock before running light engine away for servicing. Another photo of the ferry showing the closeness of the terminus to the pontoon. A terrier shunts bunker coal alongside. The Southwestern Parcels train awaits the arrival of the Brighton train in order to exchange vans and then departs. Peter's search for authenticity shows under the station awning, in the posters, the passengers and the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway clock. The fast train for London arrives behind an Atlantic. The midday fast leaves for London behind an I3 tank, a popular train for shoppers and theatre goers. A westbound southwestern through working is brought into the station by a dual-fitted E5 radial. An LSW loco attaches a private hiring coach and carriage truck and departs for the west. Coaches are gaslit. Empty gas tanks are exchanged. These are scratch built and then they depart behind an E1 goods loco. Looking from the terminus, the yard is shunted by an E6 as a topsail schooner is loaded with chalk from the branch quarry. The goods yard is a busy place as vans are shunted by a Terrier tank locomotive. After the Boer War, equipment is returned. A southeastern O-class pulls in a rake of scratch-built guns and limbers. A B4 southwestern locomotive arrives to take the train to Aldershot. looking downstream at Riverside Goods, with the pub and customs house left, and the Baltic timber ship alongside right. The tracks behind the signal box lead to the industrial area. A goods train hauled by a Terrier tank crosses the swing bridge for the train to be shunted in the yard. The Riverside yard looking upstream towards the canal entrance, with the coal loading facilities on the left. Sawn timber is unloaded from the Baltic timber ship, whilst other timber is taken away from the wood yard. Tree trunks loaded on the branch are sawn and then dispatched by an industrial locomotive. A general view of the branch station with timber loading and goods facilities. On the branch, the southbound Arundel stopper leaves the station and crosses the river. The branch station with typical Brighton design signals, goods shed and yard crane. A Southwestern T1 hauls a Petersfield train along the branch. The cattle working rumbles northbound past the chalk quarry and over the river bridge. Another southbound branch train, the Midhurst Local, leaves the station behind an E5 tank. Goodwood races are over, and empty horse boxes are collected from various sites. An E4 radial collects boxes from Fettleworth and off the branch. It has been a tiring day filming the sequence, and the camera crew have a well-earned rest.
Now, here is the video shot by Sandy Harper. John Cox provided me with a scene-by-scene commentary. Not too intrusive, I hope. The running in sign depicts a typical LBSC design and lettering. The London business train, complete with Pullman car, awaits departure. A pan shot showing the fishing harbour and a C2X on a northbound goods working to Norwood Junction. The London train departs behind the Gladstone-class loco. A general view of the goods yard, shed and cattle dock. Views of the net sheds and the fishing fleet, all based on Sussex prototypes. Detail of the signal box, and behind it the line running to the riverside sidings. An overall picture of the branch line station.
Okay. Yep.
Right.
That's it. Where you go?
The C2X departs from the goods yard with a northbound working to Norwood Junction. The director's inspection coach arrives behind a Gladstone loco. A picture of the quarry that feeds chalk to the schooner in the harbour. It's Goodwood Race Week, and horse boxes are stored everywhere, including on the branch. detail views of the cross-channel ferry Paris and the topsail schooner. Peter built the 25 lever frame that controls Fettleworth. A D3 tank arrives to pick up horse boxes and then departs past the quarry southbound to Fettleworth. D3 arrives at Fettleworth, picks up a further rake of boxes and departs.
Right. Oh. Go. This is on a 160 gradient, so you have to be a bit careful how you hit 50 rounds.
The industrial sidings at Riverside Goods.
To just leave that there, Sandy. But I can send this.
An overhead picture of the local storage area.
Which just with the Northwestern coaches, if people like to see that, it'll be fine.
The Manchester through train departs from the Fiddle Yard and arrives at the terminus behind the B4. General detail views of the LNWR coaches. Pictures of the loco storage shelves, which include locos from the LSWR, SECR and industrial ones.
See the timetables.
General views of the Riverside industrial area, showing the woodyard, customs house, inn, swing bridge and coal loading facilities.
Run the thing. It's not frenetic like this. We don't sort of get in a state if somebody's struggling with coupling something up or whatever. We don't, you know, it's all done for enjoyment. Is that first stick pulled? Yes. Now let me think. I think I'd like to get that. What would be a good idea if we get the inspection saloon? Could I ask you to pull the sticks over there? I'll have to get on to Snowy.
An overall view of the Fiddle Yard with its capacity to hold 14 trains, with a further 10 cassettes holding trains under the baseboards. The C2X on a northbound branch working. An LSWR goods working arrives at the terminus goods yard.
Yes, they had. I built 3 of those double containers. Actually, what would be an idea? Shall I do the start of the run?
The B4 runs round and departs for Portsmouth. A parcels working from 3 bridges arrives behind an E4 radial tank and departs along the coast.
God, I haven't worked this end of the line as much as. Sorry.
The Arundel local arrives behind a D1 with a private hiring attached, which consists of a carriage truck, horse box and passenger coach. This will be attached to the next down working. An LSW Class 460 loco arrives to take on the through train to Portsmouth. A dual-fitted E4 pulls in the Portsmouth-bound train, after which the LSW engine and private hiring takes over the train and departs for Portsmouth and Salisbury. A view of the signal box and the line behind, leading to the Riverside industrial area.
This engine to go, or that run round, if you want to, if you fancy that.
The D1 on the local runs round.
Okay, take it back as you were doing.
The Manchester train departs, pulled by an E4. This is a detailed picture of the C2X's valve gear. Pan shots of the harbour, quarry, loco storage and the riverside area.
So busy trying to feed two engines through at the same time.
The military special arrives at Fettleworth from Deal, pulled by an SECR O-Class loco. An LBSC D1 departs with the Arundel local. Detailed views of the military loads. An LBSC D3 departs with the Midhurst stopping train. Detailed pictures of the fishing harbour, goods yard and the coal and slate unloading facilities.
Happens is the southeastern engine runs round and collects its brake pan and goes.
A Brighton Atlantic arrives with a London Express. An I3 tank arrives to take the midday fast to London Bridge.
Okay.
You do not, please. That's all right. Right.
Yep.
The Atlantic runs light engine to the sheds for servicing. The C2X runs a Norwood-bound goods past the quarry and past the looped director's train. A terrier moves the military special away from the terminus. A goods train runs past the quarry and is watched by some PW men. A K-class mogul runs in with a train from Victoria. An E4 locomotive backs onto the train, forming the next upworking, and departs.
Go.
This is the track plan, showing the 4 elements of the layout: the fiddle yard, the riverside industrial area, Fettleworth terminus and goods yard, and the branch line. Each had its own controller, but could be linked to each other. The Spider Special is run at the start of each running session to clear cobwebs, spiders and any other unwanted visitors from the running lines, bridges and tunnels. Finally, here is a slideshow of stills shot by British Railway Modelling when the layout was featured in that magazine. John Cox obtained permission to reproduce these.